This is chapter 11 of the Let's Play for In Memoriam, or Missing Since January. And we left off here at the Foo stage, right at the tail end of the air section of the game. And this is a two-part puzzle, but I put both parts to you guys. The first part is this, which was looking for two text entries with the In Memoriam and two symbols. This was a team effort. Lord Guggs came up with where the number system was from the Demagia.net website. Then Mr. Highway and Hyperman 1992 at about the same time came up with the correct numbers, which, if I punch in here, is 1548 and 1600. Good job, guys. And this is part 2, which I provided the Phoenix's text there, as well as this clue that you can provide. And this part got solved pretty quickly, actually, by Alicia, who came upon this website by Googling the two numbers, which were dates. It was the birth and death date of Giordano Bruno, which just happens to fit here. So the text entry on this one is a little unique. Basically what I do is I select sections of this insect and it generates letters. And each wing and the tail do a different letter, with the left antenna controlling the first half of the alphabet and the right hand antenna controlling the back half of the alphabet. So I just have to pick out there, that would be O on the second antenna. It's A through M on the left antenna and N through Z on the other. And each section of a wing is different, so you might notice it's 3 pairs. Yeah, 3 pairs on the left side, so that's 6, plus the tail is 7. Just gotta get all the letters created here. What I'm doing is, I'm doing all the O's up front, since I have memorized now which wing generates the O. If you know what you're doing, it's not that bad. Just sort of an interesting spin on it, and I thought the animation work on the insect was pretty well done here. Some of their animation work in this game is pretty hit and miss, but they did a good job with this one. So just filling in the last couple letters now. Trying to find the U. This should do it. And there it is. And that solves the Foo puzzle, which is our last one in air. Great work on that one, guys, and we'll see what awaits us in the final section of the great work.
The solution was suddenly there, right under our noses. A bit like a huge jigsaw puzzle that we'd been patiently working on and which was starting to give us the outline of a familiar face. The last clue found close to the body. The esoteric ritual used in the murders and the route taken by the murderer all pointed towards one name: Giordano Bruno, the alchemist and philosopher burnt at the stake in 1600. Two other murders in Germany confirmed our theory. We went straight to the airport to catch the next flight to Prague. Time was of the essence.
Yeah, good evening. We'd like to know if you still have the flight to go to Prague tonight.
So, that's quite the plot development to work our heads around there. The Phoenix calls himself that because he believes he's the reincarnation of Giordano Bruno, an alchemist from the 16th century. So there's a twist. Suddenly, a lot of the Phoenix's motivations make sense. If he believes that Manus Domini killed Bruno, then he is sworn to take vengeance upon him. This is pretty twisted stuff. And this is pretty delusional stuff. But having said that, we're going to continue on, and we're now in the IGNIS section, which is the final quarter of the game. I'm going to jump straight in here with the puzzle. With CHTHISAR. And the goal of this particular puzzle here is I have to guide with my mouse this candle flame to the candle without touching any of the little orange circles. If I do that, then the flame goes out and it resets back to the start. I'm just kind of making my way around here. But as puzzles go, we faced a lot harder, and I'm sure we'll face a lot harder again. Oh, right at the tail end, I hit one at the top. So we're going to do this one more time. Also, I know someone was spoiled on the Bruno revelation there. But fortunately, it was just before this chapter, so you weren't spoiled for long. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Got it. Okay. So it looks like he is on trail of another murder here. And hold a sec. I have more graffiti here written in blood. Now this one is actually not too difficult, so I'm going to take it because the solution is actually right on the same page that we've been using for several other puzzles here with a different alphabet. So all you have to do to solve it is to match up these characters with that alphabet, which those letters translate to the word Naga, N-A-G-H-A, and that solves CHTHISAR. He's close. He's very close. So, we'll continue on then with the investigation, see if we can catch up with him in time. This part here is a pretty simple sort of jigsaw puzzle. Basically, every time I grip a piece, it rotates. So if it rotates too far, I have to just keep clicking to drag it back around. Like so. And there aren't that many pieces to this puzzle. It's fairly easy to figure out where things go. This is the right side. Last two pieces. Alright. That's the first part of Ippy. This part, though, that was the easy part. This is the hard part. The idea here is to focus the beam of light, the little laser beam there, so that it hits and destroys 6 planets. But it only works if you reflect the light among 3 of these little boards here, for lack of a better term. So I found that usually it works best to just let it be if you see one that works. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward through most of this puzzle because it's very time consuming and patience is key. So I'll see you on the other side. Alright, beam's almost there. You can't actually pause it by just clicking on the thing in the middle, but only for a moment. That should do it. It's another one down.
Prague, the 3rd of December. It was logical that our route would lead us to the magic capital of Europe. During Giordano Bruno's era, Prague was a magnet for all sorts of magicians and alchemists seeking refuge with Emperor Rudolf II. In the cold, winter's light, the city still appeared to be shrouded in a veil of mysticism. We'd bought a couple of books before our flight left, but we couldn't find any mention of a place linked to Giordano Bruno. Nevertheless, the tomb of his old enemy could be found in one of the city's most well-known churches. Now that we were fully aware of the Phoenix's modus operandi, we decided to stake out the church from a vantage point just across the road. A few hours later, the bitterly cold weather drove us back to our hotel.
We should come back now. It's really useless. It's so cold.
I like how touristy their investigation is. Well, it's cold. Let's go back to the hotel. I am concerned about who the Minerva might be, because she sounds like she might be a victim. So we have time to start one more, and I think that's where we're going to leave it. It's the PHATITI puzzle here. More disturbing imagery to accompany it. Okay, so there have been harder puzzles that I've left you guys with, but this one's pretty straightforward. I'll just light the fire there and put this over it. And it'll give us some additional letters. It's a little hard to read, but it looks like it says Benatky, B-E-N-A-T-K-Y 1599. So we'll use that and the other clue that the Phoenix gave us there. And I need 4 numbers. 4 numbers to solve this puzzle. And we check our email here, we actually have a note from the Phoenix himself again. Man, he's right on top of us there. We just did that. Alright. So if I get any more emails, I'll post them to the thread as usual. But there's our clue for this time. Again, we've had harder than this, so I know you guys will get this one pretty quickly. So thanks for playing along, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.